Real estate developer Rick Caruso has never held elected office, but he is now running for the biggest office in L.A. He announced his candidacy for L.A. mayor a month and a half ago and has already gotten some big endorsements. So what's his platform? What is he planning to do? Joining me now in the studio, Rick Caruso. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's jump right in. A new study said 176,000 people in recent years have moved out of the city and county of Los Angeles, and they say it's homelessness, it's the cost of living, it's a lot of things that are negatively impacting the quality of life, and they're leaving. What do you think about that, and what do you do about that?
I think it's a major problem, and we have to fix it. It should have never happened in the first place. There's been a failure of leadership, in my opinion, in this city that has caused these kind of things. Listen, crime is spiking all throughout the city. It's just a fact, and it's unfortunate. And at the same time, you have crime spiking, you have 500 less officers on the street. That doesn't make any sense. You got homelessness that's rampant. 44,000 people are living on the streets. We've got to go fix that. We've got corruption in City Hall. We have to go clean that up. So I understand why people are leaving, but I'm going to turn that around because we're going to make this, as it is, the greatest city in the world. But we need to give people hope. We need to listen. We need to keep communities safe. We need to have more officers on the street, and we need to clean up the streets, and we need to give innovation and small business an opportunity to just thrive, and I will do that.
All right, let's talk about homelessness. You want to declare a state of emergency.
Yes.
You are not alone in that. Just about everybody, every one of your major opponents is planning to do the same. State of emergency means what to you? What happens as a result of that? What do you plan to do immediately about the homeless problem?
So here's the difference when I say state of emergency and others, in my opinion. There's only one person running for office that's had executive experience. There's only one person running for office that has managed an enterprise, managed thousands of employees, managed a budget, and been held accountable. So when I say state of emergency, there's a formal state of emergency. The authority comes into the mayor's office to make decisions. I want to be held accountable. I know how to do that. I want to bring the best and the brightest to make decisions on to cure the homelessness. We're going to build 30,000 temporary beds to get people off the street. I'm a builder. I'm the only builder that's running. I know how to build. I've been on both sides of this issue from the standpoint I know how difficult it is to build in the city. And at the same time, we have to build permanent housing. But you can't solve the problem by 15 council districts doing it a different way. Each are doing it a different way. And so what's happened under the current leadership that we have, the problem continues to get worse. We have to stop that, turn it around.
All right, you have been a wealthy man from birth, pretty much, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the question becomes then, when you have a city where more than half of the people live paycheck to paycheck, more than half of people are in serious threat of either falling into either homelessness or poverty. Do you empathize and understand the feelings and the struggles of people, of more than half of your constituents, should you become mayor?
No doubt. So my grandparents on both sides were immigrants. They landed in Boyle Heights. My grandfather was a gardener. We come from humble beginnings. I built my own company, started with one employee. But let me tell you what's the most important. And I've been very successful and fortunate in my life, but I was raised with faith, family, and community. You always give back, no matter how much or how little you have. And that came down from my grandparents and my parents. My wife and I and my family have been involved in the community for 30 years. We've been involved in Watts, we've been involved on Skid Row, we've been involved in East LA with Para Los Niños and supporting schools. We know the families, we know the kids, we take care of families across this city, and we've done it for many, many years. So I empathize with them. It's one of the reasons I'm getting into this race. They haven't been heard. They've been forgotten. They're living in terrible conditions. And we see it every day because we work down in those communities through our philanthropy. And we can change it. And we need to give people hope. We need to give people the ability to have their share of the American dream. When you have high crime, when you have homelessness the way you do, when you have leadership that's failing you, you're diminishing that American dream. And I'm going to change that.
I want to talk to you about your perspective, which is unique, as a builder, as a developer.
Right.
I spoke with a member of the city council last week who talked about the affordability of rent in LA and why it is so high. It's not just supply and demand. It's a question of somebody who needs to build or wants to build a development. The investors want a certain level of return, and in order to get that return, you have to have the rents at a very high level. Is that true?
No. What's true is LA City has overregulated building in this city to the point that it's so expensive people are not building in the city. That's why we have a housing crisis. If you want to build something in this city now, it'll probably take you 2 to 3 years to get a permit, and it's so discretionary. That's what leads to a lot of the corruption we've had in City Hall. In low-income housing, the city of Los Angeles, through HHH, is building low-income housing at $800,000 a unit. It's insane and out of control. Private industry, private investors are building it at $200,000 a unit. The overregulation, the way the system is set up, is driving the cost up and driving investment away. We need to turn that around, and I will, because I understand how to turn it around, because I am a builder and I know what it takes to pull permits in the city. And we'll fix it.
Okay. Rick Caruso, candidate for mayor of Los Angeles. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to keep the conversation going. We have a debate coming up here on ABC7 on May 1st. You're going to hear from the candidates for mayor and the primary election, of course, June 7th. Right. We will see you on the debate. We hope. We have a commitment for that?
Yes, you do.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Appreciate your time.
Wonderful.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel and download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.